Big things have small beginnings. Stay tuned guys, you're going to love this. Okay, so welcome back guys. Today we're going to be going over absolutely every single thing I do to set up a crystal red shrimp tank. And I use that term very loosely because this setup can be used for things like Taiwan bees, blue bolts, anything you like, pintos, any kind of Caridina species that love soft water. But I will label it how to build, how to set up basically a crystal red shrimp tank, okay? And when I said I'm going to show you everything, I mean I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to show you how I paint the back of my tanks, how I clean my tanks, how I use substrate, how much substrate to use, filtration, lighting, everything, cycle time. You will love this video, okay? Thank you for watching. Okay, so this is step one, right? I have my tank upside down. This is the orientation it is in. I have chosen this panel to be the back. So I therefore need to mask, put paper over this side, and this other side. Now this will just stop overspray when I'm painting. I don't need to put anything here on the front because when I'm going to paint I will put newspaper underneath all the way along, so I don't have to mask anything on the front. So basically all I have to do to mask is place paper up the sides here and then use masking tape that I have here cover it. And I'm going to show you how I do that right now. Okay, so I found it very, very hard to try and show you how to mask and get on camera at the same time. So I've put the tank on the floor and I'm going to try and mask it on the floor. You are on the tripod, so this should be a little bit easier for me to film. Basically I need one sheet of paper, which I'm going to get now for you guys. Okay, so this part here is the back of the tank, okay? I've already done one side, I'm going to show you how I did this side. Basically, you want this folded edge, you don't want this edge unless you're very good at taping. And you want to put it like this, just so it sits back just a tiny little bit, like so, okay? Because, the reason you want it to sit back a little bit is because this is where your masking tape is actually going to stick to. Take your masking tape. It's always better to put a little bit more masking tape on than not enough. Okay, and then you're going to want to follow with the masking tape down this edge. And guys, this doesn't have to be perfect, it's just the back of a fish tank. I have a tank there that is super dirty looking and you'd never know that the paint on the back of it is like horrifically bad. So this is one side done. I'm going to do this side and then that is all I need to do and then we can get on to painting. Okay, and then when I paint it I'm going to go outside here and I'm going to change it to this orientation here. And it will be sitting on paper and I will spray paint the back of this tank, okay? Catch you soon. Okay, so I'm outside, I'm going to spray this tank. It's quite important guys that when you spray paint that you do it in a well ventilated area. I've shaken this can for at least 3 or 4 minutes. This is hobby paint. It's basically, you could use it for things like plastic and stuff. So I'm going to put a glove on and then we're going to get to this. Now it's quite important that when you spray paint that you follow the instructions on the tin. Basically you want to hold the tin back to at least 20 centimeters and then you want to paint it quite evenly. So I'm going to do it right now. I've put a glove on because I don't want this to get on my hand. 20 centimeters, and it doesn't matter how long this takes you to do this. Just go over it and over it and over it. And by the way guys, it is pretty cold outside here in Norway today. It's something like 5 degrees, so now depending on how well you do this the first time, you might get away with one coat. think if I'm smart here and if I stop right now, that is my one coat. I'm going to leave the tin of paint here because I noticed there that the wind blew up a little bit. So this is going to look good, I think. I'm going to leave this to dry and then I'm going to take it inside. Alright guys, so we are at this stage. I've painted the back and it's looking good. I can't see any light through it at all. Maybe a little bit up here in the corner, just a little bit, but once the light's on top you will never notice that. I've already put the gravel in, the substrate. I'm sorry I didn't capture that. Me doing that because my camera had a little bit of a technical problem. My choice of substrate was 88 Amazonia. This one is the powdered type, as you can see here. I love Amazonia. Basically, if I had a lot of money, this is all I would buy. It is a very good substrate. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to put you on the tripod, I think. Let's see, is that good enough? Now basically we're going to fill this up with tap water. And the reason I'm going to fill up with tap water is because this tank is going to take me, at least 3 to 4 weeks of cycling. And what that means is, when I do this, I'm basically going to have to empty the tank quite a few times. Okay? So you keep the bag in there when you put the water in, it should help. It's not again so murky and cloudy. And it actually does, even though it still looks a little bit murky. I'm going to fill it up again. So basically the way my cycling works is I will fill this up, I will leave it a week, then I will drain it down 90%, then I will leave it another week, then drain it down another 90%, and I'll do that for 3 weeks. And then on the 3rd or the 4th week, if the tank is ready, I will use RO water. And that is basically how I cycle a tank. Now when I'm doing this as well, you'll see when I put the light on, the light has to stay on 24/7 every single day, as long as you can have it on until it is cycled, because this will it will leave a nice biofilm and algae in your tank. Okay, so this is the second bucket of water going in. This is about 2 to 5 litres. And when you're doing this, it's important that you try and keep the water going in over the bag. I'm just going to fill this up with a little bit more. Next thing is the filtration. I'm going to use a typical sponge filter like this that I just happen to have ready in front of me here. This is a brand new one. It already has air supply going on in it, so it's going to work straight away when I put it in here. Like so. I think we're almost at that step where I can take out this bag. Just a little bit more water. A few more litres, I think. So my apologies guys for not showing you me putting the substrate in the tank. That was my bad, I had a technical problem. I put nothing specific in, I didn't put any bacterial powders, etc. in, because I don't think you need them. The bag's coming out. Thank you, Mr. Macadama. Mr. Amazonia, sorry, Macadama. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab a sponge from one of my tanks to speed up the cycling. I'm just going to take a sponge out of here. And what I'm going to do is apart from spill a lot of water, is I'm going to give this a gentle squeeze in this tank. This will help cycle it. It will help speed up the cycling. And this will have all kinds of bacteria and life on it. Let's put this back in the tank. It's good to go. Okay, so you know how I'm going to cycle this, you know about the light. If you have any bacterial powders, like biozyme, etc., this would be a good time to put it in. So I'm going to put in a helpful dose of biozyme. And then I'm going to put the lid on. This tank is almost done. You'll also notice I don't use heaters in my tank. I don't feel like I need to use them. Put the light on. And I know it looks hell of a murky, but it will get much better, I guarantee you. So that is the setup for this tank. What you will see now is how I do this, how this tank progresses week from week. I'm going to do this video all at once, so don't worry guys, I'm not going to make you wait until the tank is cycled, etc. before you see what it looks like at the end. I'm going to film this over the space of a month. Next week I will do a 90% water change in this, then refill up with tap water. And then I will do the same over and over again. Oh, by the way, it's very important as well, is if you use tap water at the start, I didn't show this, but you have to use a dechlorinator. I didn't show you because I don't have anything in my water, but it's important that you use this if you have chlorine or fluoride in your water. So, the next step you will see is in 1 second. Okay guys, so this is its 1 week update. There's still no shrimp in here, and I don't plan to have any shrimp in here for quite a while, probably another 3 weeks at least. Yesterday I did a 90% water change. I dropped it all the way down, filled it back up with tap water. I added a small power head, and because the water was very cloudy, so that has helped tremendously. If you're wondering why this white dish is in here, it's for your benefit, because when I try and focus on things in the glass, it won't focus, but if I focus on this white dish first and then the glass, it works. I'm going to show you how that works in a second. Okay, because the algae growth has been pretty good. There's a lot of life on the glass. There's lots of little worms, lots of little cyclops. And remember what I just told you about the camera not focusing on the glass. It wants to focus on something behind. Watch this. You come down to the dish, and here, presto, I'm now in focus with everything on the glass. You can see all the life there. It's everywhere, lots and lots of little cyclops. So that tells me this tank is getting in very good condition for my shrimp. I still haven't decided what I'm going to put in here, and I think I'm going to name it for how to set up a crystal red shrimp tank, but it might be something like blue bolts or maybe pintos. It just depends on what I want. So you are going to see 2 weeks right now. Okay, so this is week 2. I'm going to show you the front of the tank. You see all that algae is grown on here, all that biofilm. I'm going to focus on this and do that little trick that I showed you last week. Let's see if it will focus. You see it all? So now I'm going to do a little bit of a water change. I'm also going to clean the 2 filters I have in here. The only thing I've changed, I've added this little power head here. As you can see, I moved the sponge filter into the corner. I'm going to put you on the tripod, and then I think you're going to go into time lapse. Okay, so that was the second week water change. Looking pretty good so far. Another 2 weeks and they should be ready for shrimp, okay? Just want to show you this as well. This is the water that came out. It is reasonably clean. It's not as dirty as I thought it was going to be, so that is good. Another 2 weeks, fingers crossed. Hello guys, this is almost week 3. So now I want to adjust the light a little bit here because I'm aware that the tank is not getting adequate light. See the dark patches here on each side. So what I plan to do is basically raise the light up a little bit like this, and you can see this effect on the side. If I keep the camera pointed over here, you can see how dark it is. Watch what happens when I lift the light just a little bit. See how it suddenly gets brighter? So we need to lift this light up a little bit, and what I'm looking for when I'm doing this also is light overspill. I don't want the light to shine everywhere in the room apart from the tank. So basically what you do with this is very hard for me to show you as well, is you look at something like your chest or your belly. I'm pushing my belly out just to give you an example here, and I'm going to lift the light up. You're going to see what happens. See the light overspill? So you will know when your tank light is too high or too low. I want to fill every dark corner in this tank because you can also see at the front here all this lovely green algae that's growing. It's kind of growing in this pyramid shape. There's not enough light here, not enough light here. So I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that. This is a very, very simple idea. I think you're going to enjoy it as well. Okay, so for this all you're going to need is the following. You're going to need a hook because this is what we're going to use to hang our light. You're going to need some nylon rope like this. I prefer nylon rope just because it's completely waterproof. I can seal the ends with a lighter if I want to. A pair of scissors to cut off the excess. Cable ties are important for this method because this method I'm going to show you, you can actually adjust the light up and down using cable ties. I need a drill that is just a little bit smaller than the diameter of the actual hook you see here. Okay, so what we're basically going to do here is, I think I'll put you on the tripod for this. I'm going to look straight up like this and just pick a place in the ceiling and we're going to put our hook in, okay? So you're going to go on the tripod while I do this. So I don't know if you want to look at me or the roof or what. I think I have to show you the roof, so here we go. I'm just going to roughly eyeball this up like this. And this part is, it's not like rocket science, guys. Once I've done it, if the light is slightly, going the wrong way a little bit, I can just move the hook. That's all it takes, okay? So we put the hook in, and like so. We're going to put it all the way in because I don't want this to fall off at all. Like so. And that's got a good grip there. There's no way that's going to come off. Right. So you're going to come back down. I hope you can see that there. The wee hook right about here. And then we're going to go over to the light and do the rest of this. So we're going to look down here. And this is where you have to eyeball your attachment points. Get your length of rope. How can I do this so you can see a little bit better? Basically, your length of rope that you will need, you will have to judge it from the roof to where your light is, double that length. And then you're going to create a little loop like this. See the little loop? This is in the middle. You're going to get a cable tie. You're going to put around this loop just here. Alright? And this is what's going to stop your loop from falling off the hook that's in the ceiling. Alright, just like so. You see that? Now it's up to you if you want to do this ultra tight or not that tight. I want it a little bit tight. I'm just going to grab my little pair of where are they? Just here, there they are. These They're like little clips. I find these very useful for cutting cable ties. They're actually better than scissors, so they give you a better edge here, you see it? So that's one. And then what we're going to do now is, I think I'll lower you down a little bit because it's a little bit high. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to feed the loose ends of this loop here through the two holes in the top of my light. Now if you don't have holes, this is where you'll have to improvise, you'll have to make your own holes, or you'll have to do something. So I'm going to push them through my light like so. Both ends. Like so. Can you see that? So let me get you off the tripod to show you a little bit closer here. Okay, so we have the two loose ends coming through the top of the light. There's the rest of it, like so, all the way up to the loop that's going to go on the ceiling. Okay, and then we're going to attach another couple of cable ties, and these are going to act as like adjustment points basically. Let's see, what's the best way for you to see this? Right, so you take two parts like this, push them together like so, and then this is where we're going to attach another cable tie. Right, because this is going to be the part that stops it all sliding off. And this will be your little security part. Now once I've got this on the ceiling, I'll have to obviously adjust it a little bit, but this is just to get you going, like so, and cut the end. And then the third cable tie, because this is the one that's going to adjust the height of your light, will go above this one. Okay, try and do it evenly, but not that tight. This one is important that you don't do it very tight at the beginning, because this is your adjusting cable tie. Alright? Just to make it easier to adjust as well. You see that how it goes up and down like so? You want it just so it grips the rope just, no more. Alright, like so. And then I think I'm going to put the light on, back on the tank, and then I'm going to put the other end on the hook. Okay, so I hung the light up. This is what it looks like above the tank. See it all the way to the roof. I just had to drill a hole and put it one little bit back. But here you can see the cable ties and the idea behind how I adjust this height here up and down, simply by pulling this cable tie up this way or down that way, lowers it or raises it basically. Mine you can see is a little bit squint, so I have to turn this hook a little bit. Let's see what it does again. Come on, turn. I'm having to turn it quite a lot just to turn it a little bit. Let's see, how is it? Almost there. Oh, there you go. I think it is a little bit squint, so see, I think this side's to come up. Oh, I was wrong. This side's to go down actually. You see, it just hangs perfectly there. See it? So it's a little bit squint still. So this is just something that you have to play around with until you get it perfectly level. And then once you've done this, you'll never have to do it again. It's pretty level to me. Now if you look in the corners, there's lots and lots of light in the corners. If you look at my jumper, remember I was talking about overspill. There's not an excess of overspill here ever either. Lots of light. So it is in position now. You see all the nice algae and biofilm on the back. It is absolutely covered in the front as well. But I want the sides to get a little bit more covered. Within 3 or 4 days it'll be Wednesday, and then it'll be time for this one's third water change. It will be 3 weeks since it's been set up. I think I'm going to wait until the 4th week before I put a nice bunch of subwasser tang in the middle here, and I'll probably clean this glass as well. All that's left to do now with this light is to trim this cable tie just a little bit. Maybe trim the edge of these little bits of nylon rope if you want to. I think I will, just to tie it up a little bit. Tie it up to this next one here. That is it, that is my light. And you will see the next part of the video in the 3rd water change. Hey guys, welcome back. This is its 3rd week. What's changed in it? Last week I cleaned the glass. It's actually gotten quite green. This is not green on the substrate, by the way, this is green on the glass. Like if I go over here, you can see it changes. If I go to this side, you will probably see just how well the algae has grown back in the space of a week. If I can get a picture on this side, you might just be able to see the amount of life that's here. See all the little things moving, etc. So it's growing fairly nicely, all this green algae. If the camera ever focuses, that is. Yeah, there you go. So, what have I done? Only real thing I've changed in this since last week is I removed the sponge because I wanted to somehow add Purigen into here, and the only way I could think of doing it was to use a bottle like so. This is a cola bottle. All I've done is cut off the bottom. I'm currently regenerating Purigen that was in here before. So what I'm going to do this time round for you guys is I'm going to do a water change. We'll clean this filter roll here, and then I will add a bag of Purigen here. And fingers crossed, guys, this will be the last real tap water change we shall do. By the way, all I've done with this little power head here is this new Jet 400 is push it into the top of the bottle. It is an absolute perfect fit. So hopefully, fingers crossed, as I just said, that this will be the last time we use tap water. Next week I will use RO water, and I will also put a plant in here, I think, and then I will also change it to a timer for the lights, because I don't want the algae to continue growing and growing and growing. Once I get a plant in here, I want it to be just as green as now, as you can see in the bar and on the sides. I also want a plant in the middle. So I'm not going to do a time lapse this time around with the video, because once is enough, I think, for a video. What you're going to see here is just a jump shot. It's going to be done instantly. Thank you. Okay, so the 3rd water change is done. You really didn't miss anything. It's just basically me putting water out and putting water in. I've changed the filter floss, and I've put in some fresh Purigen. That's not green stuff on the Purigen, by the way. That's actually green stuff on the glass. Okay, so the next update you shall see, we shall empty the tank again, and then this time we shall use RO water, and I will make it up basically to 180 TDS. And the reason I'm making it higher than normal is because when you have a new substrate, what happens is, because of cation exchange in the substrate, it draws out minerals from the water. So if I was to set this as my normal TDS at 140, what would happen would be, after I put the water in, the TDS would drop quite a bit. It would probably drop down to like 90 or 100. That's what it normally drops to anyway. So this time I'm going to make it up a little bit higher, 180, and it'll probably drop down to like 140, 150, something like that. And then that part shall be done, and then we shall add a subwasser tang ball in the middle to here. And then we'll switch the lights onto a timer, and by this stage it should be ready for shrimp, I think. I just want to show you something else before we go, because on this 3rd week update you will have seen my subwasser tang video, and that is now 2 weeks old. I want to show you what one of them looks like after 2 weeks, because it's pretty good growth, I think, for 2 weeks. Oh. Isn't that beautiful? You see how much it's grown in 2 weeks? So this one, or one from somewhere else, will be going in this. And we shall start putting shrimp in here, I think. Okay, so it will be 1 second for me, or you, or 2 seconds for me, blur blur blue. Okay, this is week number 4. We have lots and lots of biofilm and algae all over the glass. Lots of it all over the sponge as well. The algae has been going from green to brown and now it's going back to green again. The sides and the bark are absolutely covered in live biofilm, little seed shrimp, little cyclops, snails. You can see all the life that's on the glass. It's the same in the front, but today I'm going to start to prepare this for shrimp, because today I'm going to do is a final water change before we add shrimp. So I'm going to do 1 more water change, wait a week, and then we shall add shrimp. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the water level down. I'm going to clean this glass first, drop the water level down, and then refill it with RO water that has a TDS of 180. Now, as I said to you in one of the previous water change videos, I'm going to make it 180 because this substrate will have a negative charge on it, and it will actually draw the salts out of the water, and it will drop. You will see this, I'll show you eventually. And we're also going to add a plant today, and I was thinking about adding one of my bigger balls of Sawasatang in here because I think that would look really nice. I can put one of the little pieces that I tied previously into the big tank, let it grow in there, and put one of the big bits in here, just to make it look better from the start, I think. Okay, so I'm going to switch the camera off now, and you're going to see me doing some work. Okay, so this is going to take a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. It's taking a while to fill up, so what I'm going to do is talk to you about what I've done, and then I'm going to come back to you when it's filled, because I don't want you sitting watching a time lapse of this, because you'll just be bored. So I've added the Sawasatang, I've added a couple of Malaysian trumpet snails. These are to move the soil around a little bit. I've added some alder cones, some alder cone leaves. Basically all I have to do now is fill the thing up, and then we shall return. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we're at the point now where I'm almost done for the day. The last thing I wanted to do was add a little bit of this Hydro Sunset here. I love the colours on this. In low light it stays green. If you have a little bit higher light and some ferts, it will go kind of pinky red in the top. I'm hoping because this is a plant-based soil that we shall get some red. So I'm going to attempt to plant this hydro fillet here. All I've done is cut the stems, the leaves in half, and the reason you do this is because you want the stems to stick in like this. If you cut the leaves in half, it acts like a little anchor point. I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed while holding the camera. So if I can't do it, guys, I will have to put the camera down and do it another way, because this could be pretty difficult for me, I think. I think the trick here is to watch the actual plant and not the camera. Okay, so I'm going to put it in until I touch the glass at the bottom, give it a little shake like so, and then hope I can do this in one go. I think that will do just fine. So the tank's looking good. All that remains to be done now is tomorrow I shall test the water, because the reason, guys, I'm not putting shrimp in now is because when you add fresh water, as I've already explained, with a higher TDS, there's a cation exchange event that will happen in this soil, and it will suck out minerals. So if I put shrimp in here and then it starts to suck out minerals, it will literally kill the shrimp. So I will wait until tomorrow to see if it has equalized out. As I said, I set my water in this, when I made water up here, to 180 TDS. We shall see what is tomorrow, okay? See you later. Alright guys, so this is before week 5. It's the Monday before the Wednesday, which means Wednesday would be week 5. I've added a salt zinc oxidator to the back, which helps clean the water even more. I've added some alder cone leaves. It's actually looking really good now. It's starting to clean up nicely. You can see the snails and all the microfauna are going hard at work at all this algae that's built up in the back. You can see it's actually changing colour quite a bit as well. It's not growing so much on the front anymore as it was, so that's a good sign as well. You can see all this biofilm on this side of the glass, which I was looking for before. Another thing I've changed as well, because I noticed there was a lack of general water movement all around the tank. You get this with sponge filters when the air generally goes straight up. All I've done is added a half a piece of pipe from a 45-degree conduit pipe. I've cut it in half, like so. Sorry about that glare. There you go. So this tank is coming along nicely. I'm going to do a water change in it today. I'm going to try and get as much of this old water out here as possible. And I may as well just show you why actually. Bear with me if I can kind of stay in focus. Remember guys when I said you get a TDS drop when you have a new soil? I'm just going to show you before I change this water. It was 180 TDS before. What is that now? Can you guys read that? It's 86, so it's dropped 100 TDS. This is what happens when you have a new soil like this. So to compensate for this, in my final water change, I've made the water up higher again. This one's 173, I think the other one's 180 up here, because I need 2 buckets to change this. This one's 180 as well. So we're going to drain all the water out of here, and then we're going to fill it back up again. Hopefully this time it'll give me a TDS of around about 150. And within a couple of days I should be starting to put my first shrimp in here, so that's not bad. And then we'll take it from there, okay? I'm going to stop the camera, we're going to do a water change, and you're going to see what happens next. Right, so we're nearly there, the water's almost filled up. It takes such a long time for me to fill it from this water container up there. But this is how I filled my tanks as well, that's why it takes so long. I don't want to rush filling tanks. So what I want to show you now is, remember I just showed you the TDS in that bucket, it was 170 something. Let's look what it is now, as we can see. $143. So it's dropped a good bit already, and that's since it's went in the tank. So you can see it's important to have the TDS of your water going in a little slightly higher than the water than it was before. You get what I'm saying. Either way, you can either add your minerals after, because at this point you're not going to kill anything in the tank because there's no shrimp in there. There's a hell of a lot of snails though. Not that that matters. Life is life. The more the better in a shrimp tank, I think. You can also see where I put the Malaysian trumpet snails have been making their little paths through everything here. You see it? And then they stopped and went into the soil. So in probably 2 days, I'm going to say, we shall be putting shrimp in here. I will have to drip acclimate them in here, I think, unless the conditions are absolutely perfect. I very much doubt that though. I will have to drip acclimate them in here. I'm going to use 5 crystals, probably 5 small ones from down here. The reason I'm going to use small ones as well is because they're more forgiving than adults. And then we'll see how it goes. If they're doing okay in here for maybe like a week or 2, I shall then introduce some blue bolts, I think. I think it's going to look quite good. Thank you for watching, guys. The next part of the video shall be now. Okay guys, so today is the day we actually put shrimp in at last. It's been a long time coming. It's been, I think, nearly 5 weeks. This is how long you've got to wait if you really want to cycle a tank properly. The tank looks fantastic. Look how clear the water is now. I'm just going to show you the TDS reading for today, so you know. So is it 144? 143, 142. Let's say about 140. Okay. So that's good enough for me. We're now going to acclimate the shrimp. I have my shrimp here. Chosen quite a few nice shrimp actually. These ones are, let's see, I don't know if you'll be able to see them in here. They are Hinamuras. I think there's 3 Hinamuras, 1 Missouri, and 1, I think it's just a standard A grade shrimp. So we're going to acclimate them into the tank using my drip method like this. I'm just going to put you on the tripod, I think, very quickly. I can get it set up. Alright then, are good enough? And then we're going to use the drip acclimator. I hope you can actually see this. This is the one I made before, you saw in my other videos. Here it is here, the extendable one. In the stone goes over the edge. Now this is too long obviously, so I have to shorten it up. This is the great thing about this drip acclimator, is that you can make it as long or as short as you want. Okay, so I know you can't see this, but just bear with me guys. Un momento. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. You're going to come off the tripod. Here's my extendable drip acclimator. Here. Very easy to adjust. This is me drip acclimating the shrimp now. And I will drip acclimate the shrimp until the water in here is the same TDS reading as the water in the tank, okay? So this might take a little while because the water that came from is 157. So it might take an hour or something. But I won't obviously keep you looking at this for an hour. So you'll see a cut screen now. Okay, so this is now filled, this little container. We're just going to take the TDS. First I have to turn it on first. What is that, 144? Close enough, I think. 144. Okay. So now we're going to take these little boys. So let me get rid of this drip acclimator. Put it over here. And we're going to put the shrimp in. Alright, so here's their maiden voyage. I'm just going to let them go out at their own pace. One's away. Straight onto the moss. Other one's away. Come on, shrimpy shrimpies. I think they're all out. Just check inside the glass. They're all out. So let's see. One over there, over here. Super white, bright. And so that is the tank set up. Shrimp are in it. We should see within a couple of days if it's going to be shrimp friendly. I have no doubt it will be. I'm going to now go to a night shot so you can see what this looks at night, because it looks pretty decent, I think. So, 1 second. So it's almost night time. Tank is looking pretty good. Sides are pretty dirty, but that's the way I like my tanks. You can see the evolution of this algae in the back. It went from being like green to purple to brown, and now it's gone back to purple a bit. Snails have decimated it, however. The tank is looking super nice. You see this effect I was talking about before in one of my videos where I said I like LED lighting above anything. You see all the little ripples of light here? This is what I'm talking about. You don't really seem to get that with other lights. Looking good. This Subwoofer tang went a very dark green colour. I noticed this last week and now it's starting to brighten up again. Have leaves in here, my Sochik oxidator. Hygrophila sunset has actually propped itself up and opened up a little bit. If you remember, for you it would have been a couple of minutes ago, but you would have seen this plant was all like hanging down, etc. It's doing great now. Let's see, what are you? This is SS grade crystal red shrimp. Hinamura. Hinamura means is Japanese for rising sun. This one here is another Hinamura here. The one at the back is a Missoura, but it doesn't have anything really on its back. I know it's kind of hard for you to see. But there you go guys, this video has taken me 5 weeks to make. I hope you enjoyed all the steps that I took to make this video. This is typically what I will do with all my bee tanks, the same length of time, the same process, the same acclimation, every single thing. So you've seen everything I've done. There is no special treatment I've done here, there's no special powders, whatever, so it is what it is. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. Got a snail there, cool. I'm trying to focus on the shrimp but I'm getting the snail instead. So if you wouldn't mind guys, please leave me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye! Bye! Thanks for watching guys.